catch my next guest in the season premiere of Discovery Channel's new reality series, Big Little Brawlers, debuting Tuesday, January 9th at 10 p.m. on the network. Please welcome Dylan Hiley, a.k.a. Ivar The Micro, wrestling announcer. Hello, Ivar. Welcome.
What's up? The tiniest rocks on the planet, the voice of micro wrestling.
It is so nice to virtually meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yes. So let's go ahead and jump into the conversation. So the entire cast of Micro Wrestling is under 5 foot tall and is well under 25 cast members located at a Pigeon Forge. I love going there. I go there pretty much every year. But talk to me about how Micro Wrestling started and has evolved into this big phenomenon, as this is the largest wrestling company for little people.
So this company was actually purchased by Jack Darrell. This company has been around for about 20 years. It's been around for a long time. But in the last 3 years, I would say it's been getting really, really big and big time. A lot of that is due to TikTok and Instagram. That was a big reason why we got to the success that we're at. You got guys like Psycho, one of our wrestlers, and he's got over 2 million followers on TikTok. And then Micro Wrestling has over 2 million as well. So it's kind of, with the TikTok and the Instagram, was kind of the reason, because they were invested in the character at that point. Because if you watch pro wrestling and you don't care about the characters, then you don't care about whatever they're doing in the ring. But this started taking off when everybody got invested in the character. And once the fans loved the character, they loved the matches and the athleticism on top of it.
Now, Ivar, why do you think so many people like to see little people wrestle? Like, do you think it's because they are intrigued in seeing smaller people on this type of platform? Because I think it's something I've never seen before.
Yes. So definitely people, I always say this all the time. In our company, people come for the little people. They stay for the wrestling. And everybody, there's a stigma towards little people in the world where they're in circuses. They've been in Oompa Loompas. They've been the Wizard of Oz. Right. They've been, all these things. And now they're on a pedestal. Now this actually doesn't make, like, at first you're seeing these little people and people come in and they're snickering, they're laughing, but once you get settled into your seat and you see the characters with the lights and the music and the crowd, like Ivar or Zach, when you see all that and how into the wrestling they are, then you're like, whoa, this is pretty cool. Once you see us in our element, we're not viewed as like that stigma anymore. You know what I mean?
And the crowd is so hyped too at each show. Like, they're like rooting you guys on. It's amazing.
It's a dream come true for all of us. And when they're outside, like, we've had shows where they're outside with signs and they won't let us get into the building. They're cheering. So, like, we've had crowds of 2,000 plus. And this is, like I say in the trailer that you've probably already seen, that this is the only job that puts little people on a pedestal.
Now, Big Little Brawlers really takes us into all the wrestlers' lives for the full hour. When the show was in the works to air on Discovery Channel, what was your reaction and the wrestlers' reaction as well when there was going to be a show that follows you all around doing what you love as your daily job?
It was awesome, exciting, but scary. There was a talk with me and my wife before when we got the green light notification, when I got the call that this was going to be a week or two and we're going to start filming. I looked at her, she looked at me, and I was like, this is going to get real. This is it. I go, this is the moment that we've been waiting for our whole lives. But it's also the moment that, our life is out there now. There's no, the
world's going to know about it,
That's right. So, but I'm already out there with large crowds every night, and I'm already kind of like, I love it. My favorite thing is the crowd, and I do cameos on the side. So I
saw that on Cameo. Who would want a cameo from Ivar, everyone?
Thank you. And a lot of it's like pep talks. They know my story, and they know how much I had to grind with brittle bones to be able to walk at age 15. And they know that I wasn't supposed to live to 5. And now I'm 30 years old. So they know that story. And a lot of my cameos are not birthdays or Christmas. They're pep talks. Like, please pep talk my friend who is depressed and doesn't know which direction to go, pep talk so-and-so who's feeling down on themselves. And at the end, I say, I want you to keep your head up just like Ivar does, because the tiniest rock star believes in you and he loves and appreciates you. And that's all you got to do to make them feel like they're cared about, and
That's right.
mhm.
Well, you are so inspiring. You share so much love and positivity to all your fans and to anyone that comes across you. And as we get to learn more about you in the season premiere episode, you do share with the viewers that you were diagnosed with brittle bone disease, as you have broken over, I was shocked to hear this, over 100 bones in your body and have had
Yep.
over 10 surgeries. Ivar, oh my goodness. Anything and everything can cause your bones to break. When you were young, you even mentioned that your grandma broke your ankle by just changing your diaper. Like, I was like,
Yeah.
what? So talk
Yeah.
to me about brittle bone disease, Ivar, and how common is this in little people?
So when I was a kid, when I was born and diagnosed, it wasn't very common at all. They thought that they knew I had some sort of level of dwarfism. That's all they knew. Turns out my disease is completely different from that. You know what I mean? So they
Mm,
thought that they knew it, right? So they started handling me like a normal baby. When
right.
they did that when I was born, they were handling me normal and they broke 32 bones. They counted 32 multiple fractures. That was just how many they counted. They said they stopped counting because there was over 32 multiple
Mm,
fractures from birth. So I came out in a half a body cast, like ace bandages. And then, for example, this will tell you how brittle I am. The worst bone
mhm,
I ever broke in my whole life was in fourth grade. No, fifth grade. Fifth grade,
mhm,
I was at my dad's house. My brothers were and my sister were wrestling, like play wrestling in the room. I was
mhm.
climbing onto the opposite bed using a beanbag chair. I climbed onto on my knees onto the beanbag chair. They were wrestling on the other side of the room. Lexi
Uh-huh.
or Trevor, one of them grabbed it real quick. When they pulled it, they didn't know they were using it against their brother and sister. I
Right.
come down just this much of a drop, but when I
Mhm.
came down, I broke my femur in half.
Oh
Biggest
my
bone in your body,
goodness.
two
Oh
separate
my
pieces.
goodness. So you've been dealing with this all your life. Wow.
My last broken bone was the year before micro wrestling. I broke my right knee in two spots just falling in my own apartment.
I must say, we see you confront your boss because it's your dream to wrestle for a night. And, we see you ask him about wanting to get into the ring and to wrestle for just one night. And, we don't actually find out the answers, but hopefully, as the season continues in the first season, we'll see you in the ring. What can we stay tuned for this season in Big Little Brawlers, Ivar?
It's going to be an inspiring piece. It's going to be something that puts little people on a pedestal and on the map. You're
Yep.
going to see behind the scenes of all these characters and their lives, and you're going to see the grind and 550 shows a year. During this filming time as well, we didn't
Hmm.
stop. We didn't stop our schedule. We
Wow.
kept going. So we film in the daytime, film in the nighttime, and do these shows for the crowd. And you're going to see it's going to put little people on a map and on the pedestal.
Hmm.
And I think you're going to see how I live my life as Bubble Boy. You're going to see
Yeah.
how afraid my wife and my family is for my safety and my well-being. Anything and everything can happen. All I got to do is slip in the ring,
Hmm.
and my knee and my whole lower half is messed up.
It could be
And
over.
so, it's my I love what I do, and I want to
And
be
it
the
shows.
biggest. I want to be the biggest inspiration to people that are disabled on the planet. I want to be the guy that
Oh.
tells people that you could do whatever you want to do.
As we learn about you in the first episode, as I mentioned, we meet your wife. Your wife is the average person's height, but how do
Yes.
you make that relationship work being a little person married to a tall person?
It's helped out a lot because I don't have to reach anything high up anymore. Yeah. So
That's
there's
right. That's a good point.
no, she's awesome. She's been my rock and biggest support. All the wrestlers, if you ask them who the biggest hearted person in the entire company is, it's Melissa. It's my wife. She's
Oh.
the company. They all call her mom. So this life we live is 550 shows a year. You're talking about 20-year-olds uprooting their families and leaving their mom and dad and coming statewide to travel with a bunch of micro wrestlers. It's
Hmm.
scary. And she is what's called the road mom. She is
Wow.
like they all they all need her. They all like, just like I need her, they all need her on the road. And she's a big
She's
part
the
of the behind the
best.
scenes. Yeah. She's a big part of this
She's
company
amazing.
behind the scenes.
That's incredible. And it's nice to know that your family support what you do. And, because you have to have a great support system around you when you're doing
Yes.
this, and especially working so hard, so many days, so many hours like you guys do.
Yes. I mean, it's, we are our own family because I
Yeah.
see these guys and gals more than I see my own family. So,
Wow.
you gotta, it's hard sometimes. You gotta have your space. You're traveling with these, it's a marriage. You're traveling with these people all the time. If you have a fight with somebody, you have to see them every day. So you better
Yeah.
get it involved. You know what I mean? Because you got to go out there and work with them.
And there's some sticky situations that go down in the first episode. I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but you gotta watch it and tune
That's right.
in. It goes out with a bang in the first episode. I was like, oh, okay, this is really
That's
happening.
right.
And by the way, all this traveling, Ivar, that you mentioned, how was it like to really get used to the cameras following you around from when you go to work, from when you go to sleep?
It wasn't as big of a change from like afternoon on because I'm used
Yeah.
to doing TikTok videos and being at work. But when I wake up in the morning, it takes me a minute. I'm very much not a morning person. So
Right.
like when I'm rubbing my eyes as Dylan in the morning and there's a camera right there, it was a little bit of adjustment.
You're
But
like, whoa, hold on, wait
yeah,
now. Give me like 10 minutes.
that's right. That's right. Because what you see is like woken up Ivar and I'm in my element. But
Yeah.
like in the morning when I'm just getting up, I'm like, oh, there's a camera right there. Okay. You know?
All
So it
right.
was a little bit of adjustment. Yeah.
Now, Ivar, one thing that is unique about micro wrestling, or at least to me, is you guys have wrestlers named after big stars in Hollywood. Some of them, one wrestler is Micro Jackson. Ha ha! See that? I love that. That's so clever.
Yeah.
Like Michael Jackson, Micro Jackson. One that
Yep.
I truly love now is Little Aussie because I'm a big Osbourne's fan.
Yeah.
Has Ozzy Osbourne ever met Little Aussie?
Yes. So he was on the Jack Osbourne show back in the day. He actually was on the Osbourne show with Ozzy, and through Sharon Osbourne, he got to meet Ozzy. And little Ozzy, because of that, and because of many other things and his connections, his band has been touring all through the Florida area and everywhere else, Southern.
What?
And he sounds great. He sounds just like Ozzy. His band is
Oh my
great, and
goodness.
oh yeah, they were touring all around. But when little Ozzy joined, it was awesome for me because
Mhm.
he's already been on stage as a lead singer. He knows how to work crowds. He may not know about wrestling, which I'm trying to
Right.
teach him all the things I know about wrestling. But now we have somebody else on the other team because Ivar can't be everywhere at one time announcing these matches for both teams. So
Hmm.
when I'm on Micro 2, he can announce on Micro 1 where it still has a good announcer. Now, he doesn't know everything about wrestling, but he's a
Right.
hype man and he gets excited and he's good with crowds. People love him.
That's
Yeah.
incredible. Well, Ivar, I could talk to you all day long, but it's been so nice to have you on the show. Tune in and watch Discovery Channel's Big Little Brawlers debuting Tuesday, January 9th at 10 p.m. on the network. Ivar, you take care. You have a great day. And this will be the show everyone will be talking about Wednesday morning. They will.
That's right. That's right. Nothing's impossible for the tiniest rock star on the planet, the voice of Nightmare Wrestling. I'll see you next Tuesday after Moonshiners.
Thank you, Ivar, for coming on the show. You take care and have a great day.
And to you, buddy.